Hello, what's up, Dreadful Talk subscribers? A long time no talk, I know. And that's exactly what this video is about, just to address the how it's been a while, kind of address, what's been going on with me, the direction of the channel, what's going to be happening moving forward with it. I just didn't want to leave anybody high and dry. I said, I know it's been, my last burrito review was August 26th. My last podcast episode on this channel was August 13th. So, people might be wondering what the hell, why I subscribed to this channel and then the content stopped coming. So, really what it boils down to is just life happens, right? I think anybody can relate to that. When I first started this podcast and my other podcast, Beefy Boys Breakdown, if you're an MMA or UFC fan, please go check that out on YouTube. Subscribe to Beefy Boys Breakdown if you're into fight content. But so I started these podcasts during the pandemic. I wasn't working and I had a lot of free time on my hands, and as well as did many other people. And I just thought to myself, I know so many talented people. I know so many interesting people, and I want to have like a platform to share more so their stories and what they're doing, more so than really just my own voice. When I started this channel, that's kind of what I had the intentions of. And so naturally that kind of lends itself to like a guest-based podcast. And a lot of my favorite podcasts that I watch are guest-based. I'm sure a lot of the podcasts you watch are guest-based. And that was kind of the template, the footsteps I was following in. And, there's nothing wrong with that. All those podcasts that I was talking about, all my favorite podcasts, all your favorite podcasts that have guests, like, they have somebody whose essentially full-time job it is to like book those guests, keep in contact with those guests, have a backup plan in case those guests bail at the last minute. And obviously, small operation here. I was doing all the guest booking, the editing, the podcasting itself, the promoting. And it was just a lot of hats, it was my first podcast. I didn't really know what all I was biting off. And, so I guess that is my advice to anybody out there starting their own podcast is like, you're not just doing a podcast, you're editing a podcast, you're booking guests for a podcast, you're promoting a podcast. So it's not just the, while the red light's on and while we're recording. There's a lot that goes on before, a lot that goes on after. And being a guest-based podcast, you're really putting a lot of eggs in these people's basket, the guests that you book. And I can't tell you how many times somebody would ask me to be on the podcast and then cancel on me, 5 minutes before we're supposed to go live. Because typically I do my podcast live on my Instagram at Dreadful Talk Dom if you want to give me a follow. And so then that would leave me scrambling 5-10 minutes before the podcast is supposed to start, trying to find a new topic, really just pull a show out of my ass, which leads to the show kind of coming across seeming like I'm unprepared or sloppy, and really I was kind of left high and dry, oftentimes by people who DM'd me or went out of their way to ask me to be on the podcast. It'd be one thing, if I was begging somebody for their time and then they had to reschedule, but it'd be people asking to come on the podcast and then bailing, leaving me in a bad spot, forced me to pull a show out of my ass 5 minutes, before we're supposed to go live. Just not the kind of quality I want to put out there for you guys. And, I'm not paying these guests, and I understand shit happens on their side and on my side, and sometimes things need to be rescheduled. It's not that. It's just how they were going about it. And I just realized, so much of, if this episode turned out good or not, I was putting a lot of eggs in the other person's basket, or just even if they do show up on time, are they giving it their all? Are they focused? Are they doing something else? There's something else going on in the background. Or do we just not vibe? Sometimes, it may be somebody you meet through DMs, through social media, you think you're going to vibe and you kind of just don't. Doesn't make for the best content, make for the best podcast episodes. So with this channel, I definitely want to reimagine it. I definitely kind of want to make it less guest-based. That doesn't mean that I'll never have guests again. I'm actually in talks with a good friend of mine to do a Dreadful Talk podcast episode. And so I'll still have guests. I just don't want to necessarily put all my eggs in that basket and be left high and dry if something goes wrong, with the booking or rescheduling or a last minute bail. So I kind of want to reimagine this channel a little bit. I was going to reimagine it to be more skateboard focused, and then two things happened. You know, for those that are aware, you know, I've really fallen in love with skateboarding over the course of the past year. You know, it helped me I lost a bunch of weight. I lost like 35 pounds. It really helped me with my stress and my anxiety and my mental health. It was helping my physical and mental health. So I really wanted to like lean into it. And it was also kind of pulling away from this podcast a little bit. So like I wanted to find a way to like incorporate it more so that way they weren't kind of at odds with each other. And right as I was kind of going to shift this channel to more of a skateboard direction in September, I uploaded my 1 year progress of like how good I had gotten at skateboarding and over the course of my first year skateboarding. I made a really cool video, put a lot of time and effort into it, and it was doing decent numbers. It had music on it because a lot of the footage was compiled from Instagram Reels, which had music on them. For some reason, I thought if the clip was under 15 seconds, you can get away with music. I've seen other YouTube channels pull kind of sneaky ways to get away with music. I thought I could get away with the short clips. I was wrong. And then I thought, I was like, oh, well, they just demonetized videos and my channel's not monetized anyway. So like, fuck it. Turns out they blocked the whole video. And then shortly after that, I got hurt. I've been dealing with a hernia since October and haven't been able to skate. So like my first big skate video got blocked by YouTube, and then I got a hernia and can't skate for a couple of months. So my idea to kind of pivot this channel towards more skate content, really, as you can see, the problems that happened there. And then on the burrito reviews, I still love doing those. However, that idea got spawned while I was living in San Jose, California. I mean, the Bay Area, California, known for their burritos, known for their Mexican food, for their Latino culture. You know, so it was really of a hotbed spot. It's like doing pizza reviews in New York or, cheesesteak reviews in Phillies. Like I was in a really prime location to do burrito reviews. And now I'm living in the Reno, Nevada area. And there is some pretty solid burritos here. And I do want to do a couple more burrito reviews. So they're not dead, as Pat McAfee would say. But, just kind of had to pump the brakes because I'm not in like the burrito mecca anymore. If I did a burrito review every week here in Reno, Nevada, I mean, it'd be pretty slim pickings pretty fast. So there are some pretty decent, pretty dope burrito spots, and they're not dead. I will do more burrito reviews, but as far as doing a weekly thing or an integral part of this channel or what I want to build this channel upon, not so much. I kind of do like this part of the country is super beautiful. I'm pretty close to Lake Tahoe. There's a lot of hiking. So I kind of want to do some more content like that, maybe some more vloggy, hikey type material. Hernia kind of throwing a wrench in that plan too. So like I said, I just want to give you guys an update on this channel. This channel is not dead. It kind of did, hit some obstacles, hit some lulls, but it's not dead. I want to keep putting content on this channel. My name's attached to it. It's something I do enjoy. I just, like I said, between the guests and kind of getting, kind of screwed over by a couple guests kind of too many times, to me, moving to a different part of the country, and then on top of that, just the injuries, the work, the personal life, shit happens, life happens. I know you guys understand that, and you guys have experienced things similar to that. But I just didn't want to leave you high and dry. I wanted to upload something to the channel, and I wanted to keep you guys in the loop. If there's any guests, if you're watching this and you're interested in being a guest, you can DM me at Dreadful Talk Dom or leave a comment below. If there's topics, like say I don't really want to come on the podcast, but I wouldn't mind hearing you talk about XYZ. If you have topics, ideas, suggestions, stuff you want to hear me talk about, also leave it in the comments below. I'm an evolving person. My interests grow and evolve and change, and as I'm sure you guys do. I learned a lot over the year of podcasting between this and Beefy Boys Breakdown. So I'm just trying to implement some of the things I've learned. I said reimagine this channel a little bit, kind of correct some mistakes. Let's get it back on track. If you're looking forward to this, this new journey or getting caught up on some of my old videos, please like and subscribe and share some of my videos. Dreadful Talk Podcast on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram at Dreadful Talk Dom, on Twitter at Dreadful Talk Dom. You can DM me ideas. You can tweet at me. You can catch up on some of my content. I have plenty of content on my Instagram. But yeah, I just wanted to check in with everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. As you see, I'm in the holiday spirit. Got my Christmas do-rag on. Got the tree set up. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season. And I'm looking forward to this new year, this new content on this Dreadful Talk channel, and I hope you are as well.